it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Go with that team standing away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Presented by Schottenstein Roofing. For top quality and a price match guarantee, visit SchottensteinRoofing.com.
All right, we have made it to Friday. It's basically a weekend edition of the Buckeye Show. Gotta love it. Good to be with all you fine fans. I'm Timmy Hall. The Boatman is here. Full crew, full house. I'm excited about this one. Sitting to my right, the Ohio State football analyst extraordinaire, Austin Ward, everybody.
You're too kind, my friend.
Oh, stop it.
I feel like I made a wrong turn. I've been in the studio at 6 a.m. the previous 2 days. Now it's 6 p.m. It doesn't feel right.
I know, man. And you guys were taking shots yesterday?
I did no such thing.
It was funny. It was your comment that actually sparked Beam.
Oh, so I'm responsible
to play the
for
update.
This? Okay.
Well, it was actually Shark. I mean, I could see it coming from a mile away because I could almost see when I watched the clip back and saw you guys on the YouTube version, I could see Beam's eyes sort of light up. So if you guys missed this, yesterday morning on The Juice, Beam queued up one of my old classic updates years and years ago. The printer wasn't working. And I am scrambling to try to get the script. We could have always had a computer software program where you could have pulled up your script where the update desk is, but we never had that. We always had this archaic system where you just had to get your Word document and print it out, and I couldn't do it. So I had to just do my best. I was ready to just go and ad-lib it, and that's really what I should have done. And that's what Shark was talking about, having a nightmare where he wakes up and that very second the SportsCenter bed is playing and he hasn't looked at any scores or anything and he just has to go. And he said he woke up and was pleased to know that it was 3:30 in the morning and the alarm hit him and that didn't happen. And Beam was like, whoa, that actually happened to one of our guys. And then he played it.
There it is. He had it ready to go.
But I played a bunch of the classic Beam gems myself. You can listen to yesterday's podcast, the Buckeye Show podcast, if you want to hear how I got back at him. You can listen to the Juices podcast to hear how they got me yesterday.
Get them on all of your podcast platforms.
Absolutely.
Catch up.
Every single one of them. And I'll actually have something for you to weigh in on from yesterday's show in the next segment that I'm excited about to hear you analyze. But, for starters today, I was thinking about this when you saw already months ago, it was announced that Archie Griffin was going to get this really cool honor from the fine folks at the Rose Bowl. And
the folks at the Rose Bowl.
The folks at the Rose Bowl. Yeah. Don't want to put the word fine in front of them.
Let's not go overboard with the Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl is, they're trying to figure out where their place is in this newfound world of college football.
I don't want to derail what you have planned here because it is an honor for Ohio State, but I just want to keep it separate because the arrogance of the people at the Rose Bowl are part of the issue for a lot of other things in the college football playoffs.
Well, what do you expect?
I know what to expect.
They're the granddaddy. They want to act like they're going to stay something forever. I kind of get that.
I expect a bus that has working shocks on it if you have to be on it an hour a day to cover the Rose Bowl.
You're kind of talking about what it's like
all of it. It's
when you're out there covering it.
Anyway, Archie.
Different angle.
Yeah. No, I hate the Rose Bowl.
Maybe they kind of spend a little bit more money on the pregame spread and have some better activities for the media when we're out there covering the game.
I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for luxury. I'm asking for basic comforts so that I can do my job.
Basic comfort. You lived in Wyoming, right?
Yes.
Like a cowboy life, a hard life.
Yes.
Covering Wyoming football.
I did cover Wyoming football.
And then around the Big Ten, some of these spots, not Ohio State. I mean, Michigan State, aren't they still giving you vouchers for your food? Don't they stuff a hot dog down your throat and call it good?
You can get, you have 2 tickets. You can get a hot dog, a brat, or the driest pretzel you've ever had in your life. And if you want cheese, you're going to have to pay out of your own pocket for that bad boy. That's Michigan State. That's the trade-off. They have the nicest post-game press conference room and the worst press box food. I will make that trade.
That doesn't add up.
I'm happy to make the trade. I have no issue with that trade.
Because the facilities.
Penn State has a decent spread and the worst press box and the absolute most horrific.
Are you happy with that
post-game
trade
spot.
too?
I don't like that trade.
You don't like that
I want
trade.
to be able to do my job. They don't have to feed me. I'm a grown man. I'll feed myself. I need to be able to get quotes. I need to be able to write a story. I need to have a functioning chair, somewhere to put my laptop. That's all they got to give me.
I like that. I'm a grown man. I can feed myself. Are you feeding yourself anymore though? I can hardly see you over there.
Last season,
have you gotten a good meal?
Yes, I'm eating good meals.
Good. You look fantastic, by the way. I just want to make sure you're not starving yourself.
Thank you. Shout out to Awaken 180. No, I'm definitely not starving myself. But
they're
that last year was
people.
the real test. Like, I'm going on the road and I'm having to pack my vegetables and my meal packets and drinks and shakes. Like, hey, I don't care what food you put out at all. Doesn't matter to me. Let me work.
You just need to have a good space, right?
You got to have a space.
A clean space that has an internet connection where you can get the job done.
And Michigan State delivers on that front. I will stand up and say, hey, I will mock your food, and it's a laughable setup. Like, even places that I started at, you talked about me covering Wyoming. They were super proud to like bring in local food establishments everywhere in the Mountain West and feed you and show you a good time.
That's cool. Local spots, yeah.
And Michigan State's like, here, we're going to try and make money off of the media. Michigan does the same thing, charging.
We're going to give you vouchers. And they're not going to cover your hunger.
Yeah.
And then you're going to want to buy more.
Shouldn't give them any ideas before they start charging for mustard.
And you're going to wait in line with the riffraff.
Yeah. No thanks.
That's what you're going to do. Now you're making me feel petty because I was still of the opinion that you should have, look, it doesn't have to be lavish, right? You're not asking for a 4-course meal.
Absolutely
but something decent to eat when you're there. Because if you're going early, it's not that you're not a grown man and you can feed yourself.
You're there all day.
It's maybe the hours that you're there and how long you're there. And I always wanted, and he knows I would say it too, I've always wanted to get on my guy GP in Ohio State basketball and get off of that voucher system that you talk about, that Michigan State has. I want Jake Diebler to maybe change that and just demand that, we get back to City Barbecue or something like that.
Be careful what you wish for there, because it used to be frozen Donatos down there.
Oh, man. I mean, and you think about that too. All of the partnerships that they already have.
That's right.
Right? All the deals that they've already struck with brand name food that's in the building. You could just earmark.
It's right there.
You could earmark a little bit of that for this spot. I sound petty.
Timmy, that's why I wanted to make
Happy
that point.
to be.
Nobody wants to hear me complain about going to cover the game for free. I just want to be able to cover the game. That's all I want.
What do you think Archie Griffin would say about it?
He would say, shut your mouth and appreciate the Rose Bowl. There's going to be a statue of me out there.
What do you think a 2-time Heisman winner, the only 2-time Heisman winner, would want if he's going as press, or if he wants to be wooed? I'm sure anytime he goes to a game, it absolutely should be red carpet treatment. But I wonder if Archie's got an expectation for that. He'd be well within his right.
If the man's getting a statue, he deserves a lovely meal. I will say, at Media Day, full team Media Day before the Rose Bowl in, what was that? Before the Washington game.
Oh, yeah. Was that like 2018?
Yeah.
It was the Dwayne Haskins.
The Dwayne
year,
Haskins and Urban Meyer's last game. They had the best. There was a food truck there for full team Media Day.
Okay.
The best breakfast burrito I've ever had in my entire life.
See, now you're speaking my language.
I want to give them credit for that, because I take shots at the Rose Bowl all the time, because the rest of that setup is mostly a disaster all the time, all week long. But that breakfast burrito did give me a little a little warm, fuzzy feeling.
Anything breakfast. You guys know where I stand on this. If Sarah and I ever quit our careers, quit our jobs, and live the food truck dream, we would have a double food truck system where one truck would be called the good egg and one truck would be called the bad egg.
Ooh.
It'd be sort of like a dark side, good side type of thing.
Are they going to park
mine would have like
head-to-head?
Spicier, more kick with it, because I'm into like the hot sauce and having things that are very spicy.
Yeah.
Kind of, we'll do like the social media photo head-to-head right there. I'd be like folding my arms like an idiot. Yeah. And she'd be looking all happy. Yeah, you got it. You know what I'm talking about.
I love it.
But breakfast is just so good any time of day. We're actually doing a little Friday night breakfast for dinner.
Okay.
So when I leave the show here, at about 7:30, I'm going to be as happy as you'll ever see. as if I'm not happy right now.
I think
but
you're already
breakfast
there.
for dinner.
It's already 8 o'clock in your mind,
Man.
and this show's gonna fly by, Timmy. I haven't been on the Buckeye Show in months.
It's been too long, man. It's been too long. We've had so much to catch up on. I didn't even accomplish anything from the whole point of the segment, and that's okay.
That's what I'm here to do, is derail your segment plans.
It's really okay, because this is mainly, something that's for the listeners, and we can weave them in throughout the show. The whole point of it was, it's not that Archie is getting the statue. That story had come out. I had just read something on OhioStateBuckeyes.com about the date for, what was this? If you want to plan a trip to L.A., it's open to the public, this ceremony.
Don't do it.
August 17th at 11 a.m. It's a good time to be out there. I want to say we were in Southern California last August. We didn't hang out by the Rose Bowl. We actually went into, what is that, John Wayne Airport, the one in Orange County, and then drove down to San Diego, because we hadn't really done that, and went to Oceanside and did a lot of the Top Gun. I even wanted to pretend that I was Maverick from Top Gun. Even sat at the piano that Goose played Great Balls of Fire at, and got my little picture there. But anyway, you can go out there if you want to,
because there's no reason to go to
Archie.
Pasadena and drive through this neighborhood where the Rose Bowl pops up from. Anyway,
get a grip, Austin.
I'm sorry. I lost the plot again.
But players from the past that, maybe you saw it. Maybe you're old enough to have seen one of these guys, and you even just want to go back and watch them again because they were that good. Or if you're like me, where I didn't become an Ohioan until 12 years ago, Eddie George would be one for me to go back to the mid-'90s and watch the way that man ran the football, because I loved him as an NFL back, and he was one of the last of his kind, too. And the other one I instantly thought of, a real player from yesteryear that's not with us anymore, the Assassin. You have a name like the Assassin?
Different kind of football.
Talk about different kind of football, different time, not even allowed to play that way anymore, but Jack Tatum. So that's something that is for Twitter, at the Buckeye Show, Twitter and X, and for the Buckeye Show voicemail. We have a voicemail now. I don't know if you heard.
I haven't.
It's up and running now. So you guys got a name that you want to throw out there, somebody that you wish you could go back and watch in a Buckeye uniform, in an Ohio State uniform, not in their NFL days, but in an Ohio State uniform. 614-460-2896. You get my desk phone. That goes right to the voicemail.
It's already ringing.
Yeah, go ahead. So leave them there. And I need Austin to weigh in on a particular Buckeye matchup that we've had brewing here on the show. If you've been paying attention, you know which one. That's next. Austin is in. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is a part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is safe and clean for the players every game at the Schottenstein Center. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com. Libman, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Did the pandemic eliminate quality customer service? Well, many places it did, but not here at Heartland Bank. Imagine getting top quality service and good advice as well to help you down life's road. It's community banking, and it's alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb, CEO. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
And now we're on our way with COTA, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Whether it's game day or every day, Coda moves Buckeyes fans down the line toward victory. Download the Transit app today for an easy way to plan and pay for your next trip. Visit coda.com/transit app to learn more.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, Bianca.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For the rest of this evening, you can expect partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. Temperatures will be dropping pretty quickly once we lose the heating of the day, down to 48 for tonight. We'll see some clouds in the increase by early Saturday morning and a chance for a few scattered showers possible Saturday morning. But by the afternoon, partly cloudy skies and a high of 68. Couldn't rule out an isolated shower during the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Rob Ellis with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
The home of Big Ten championships and future first rounders. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Happy Friday, everybody. Timmy Hall and my man Austin Ward, who's been on The Fan a lot more here recently.
I started today on The Fan at 7:30 in the morning.
How about that? Yesterday, I realized that we had Patrick Murphy on, and he had already been on the Juice. I was like, what's going on here, Pat?
We had to talk about his travel plans to Pachuca.
He's going to the game, huh?
Yeah, he's in.
Is that June 1?
Yep, June 1st. I think he's leaving on that Friday, the day before.
Now, that's a fan. He's not going through any massive report affiliation,
No.
is he? He's just going.
He's just going.
Is he going with the lovely Sarah?
No, I don't think she's going. I think he said it was one of his buddies, and they're going up to Cleveland to fly down. And then I tried to get Prez Bez to give me a spot on the team flight down. Couldn't do it. I mean, I can't. Yeah,
talking about greasing the wheels,
just stonewalled there,
working the back channels.
I told some stories
Prez
about
Bachenko.
The places that I've been supporting the crew on the road, but going into Mexico would have been cool. It would have been try, and I'll be very jealous of Murph doing that, and anybody else in Columbus who is heading down there in June for one of the biggest matches in club history. Not counting Hell Is Real on Saturday night, obviously, but still, it's a
big game tomorrow.
Supersedes that because you're getting in the Club World Cup. But anyway, big weekend for the crew.
That's awesome. I didn't know that he was doing that. That puts him right at the top of the list of primo crew fans.
He's trying to keep up with you and all your vacations, man.
Yeah, he goes places too.
He just got back from Europe.
Yeah, he was in Spain. He might go more places than I do.
He hasn't played Pebble.
Well, it's not like I'm playing there like every other year or something. I waited 40 years to play it. I did. Let me tell you something. You'll hear.
I see it on the sheet here.
You'll hear a little bit more in the golf course section of the show with the Power 5 coming up at 6:48. But kind of a good place, kind of a good track.
I've been waiting to hear about it. I didn't want to spoil it, so
tough to beat. Well, this thing that we're going to talk about next is also fun. This is a lot of fun. maybe the most fun thing that we have going on right now that's going to go into the summertime. And I will kid you not, when Tyvis was saying what he said about our man DeVier Posey yesterday. So we got DeVier Posey, wide receiver for Ohio State, late 2000s, Tatgate, obviously. No one's ever going to forget that, and especially how, the NIL game has sort of changed complexion of all that. Into that 2010 season where he was suspended but still, put together really solid seasons as one of the best receivers. Him and Dane Sanzenbacher, we had Dane on the show a week ago as well, and to get the two of them talking together, that was great fun. So you got DeVier, and everybody knows Tyvis Powell, a little bit more recent, 2014 national champ, defensive MVP of that game against Oregon, safety at Ohio State, transitioned to corner in the NFL. That was a big sticking point for Tyvis. As we've just I don't know where it came from. I was gone, but this thing developed where we're wondering who would win in a one-on-one matchup. Tyvis Powell, DeVier Posey. Tyvis would play corner, obviously, for this, just man-to-man, get a quarterback somehow to try to get the ball to DeVier, and Tyvis has to deflect it or prevent a reception from occurring. We don't know what the format's going to be, if it's going to be 5 reps, 10 reps, whatever. Tyvis last night basically said DeVier can choose. He can choose everything he wants because he doesn't want there to be any talking about it.
Oh, my.
And DeVier, I can only tell you, he is about as confident as any former player imaginable that he will get the job done in this and roast Tyvis.
I think what I like about this matchup, the more that I think about it, Timmy, is that neither one is all that far removed from their peak athletic days.
DeVier's 34, Tyvis is 30.
Yeah, they're close enough in age that there's not going to be an unfair advantage there. DeVier stuck around playing professional football actually longer and past Tyvis, if I'm not mistaken.
He was a third-round pick, 68th overall in 2012 to the Texans, and he was a member of the BC Lions in 2021.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He is closer to the end of his playing days, and Tyvis are a little bit further in the rearview mirror at this point, which we all were fortunate enough for in Columbus media because that means that we got to work with Tyvis earlier. But for this matchup, he's got to try and catch up a little bit. I know he was doing work and trying to get into camps, and the dream was not dead during 2020, and some of that stuff, he wasn't able to make it back, but that was great because then we got to have him on a bunch of shows on the podcast and have him in on the Buckeye Show. But that's what I like. They're both still able to go out there and do it, not at the level that they used to, but at a level that would make this entertaining.
But are they? I have no idea. Do you have any idea? Have you seen DeVier out there running? I know there's reports that he's a pretty good basketball player. I haven't gotten to run with him yet. I think he plays with Braxton and runs with those circles. That would make sense. Mm-hmm. And, his son's looking like, DeVier's son, Drew, is looking like he's going to be a good athlete too. He's taking him to basketball practice every night he's in here. Wednesday, DeVier Day on the Buckeye Show. He always, since we are doing 2 full hours now, the son gets dropped off and then they go home from practice there. But I haven't seen these guys doing anything football-wise. I haven't. If anything, Tyvis was just lamenting how he's lost a step, and he's always talking about his diet. I felt like he was one step away from a Waking 180. And I would always tell him, Tyvis, you look fine. You're tall. There's no visible weight there.
Yeah, you got to remember, Timmy, these guys judge themselves on a different standard than we do.
It is. It's different. They pick up 10 pounds post-playing days, and they think they're fat.
Freak out.
Says he's fat.
Lost 2/10 off the 40 time.
Right. But DeVier was a 4.3 40 guy. He was blazing fast back in the day. Tyvis, by the way, he was undrafted in 2016. Seattle Seahawks 2016. Played for a lot of different teams on the practice squad. And I'm sure DeVier will have that part in the trash talk when he comes on Sunday, on Fan Sports Sunday with Tito at 11. And Tyvis also, holy crap. I didn't even realize this. Tyvis Powell and DeVier Posey were with the BC Lions in 2021.
Yeah, I don't think Tyvis was there very long.
Did anybody catch that in all this? Yeah, Tyvis was on the practice squad of the BC Lions. And DeVier was on the BC Lions.
And
that's the difference.
And producing.
And producing. Well, here was Tyvis on DeVier on last night's show, so you can hear a little bit of what he said.
Because the thing is, DeVier hasn't really seen nothing like me before. That's the problem. Like he's had success in the CFL. Let me clarify what I'm saying. He had a lot of success in the CFL, where he was very successful, ended up winning the Grey Cup and doing all of these wonderful things. But I also was in the NFL, where I did 4 years, the top of the top, the cream of the crop, where I played corner and safety and nickel. So with that being said, I'm not necessarily worried about DeVier.
Mm-hmm. He was brushing it off. In his pro stats, Tyvis, 14 tackles, 1 forced fumble. That's the pro stats.
I hate to do this, Timmy.
I want you to do it. Put the analyst hat on and give it your best guess, because I love Tyvis like a brother.
I do too. That's why I don't want to say what I'm going to have to say.
I don't know what this format is going to be. I don't know how we're going to determine the winner, but if we're going to go with just if say they did 10 reps and it would be, over the 50 percentile mark, right? Like 6 catches gets the victory. If we have a competent quarterback, the quarterback's not going to be facing pressure, I would assume, because it's just going to be receiver versus DB.
That's sort of
harder for the DB
the problem.
anyway.
It's harder for Tyvis to win.
It's harder for the DB anyway if there's equal talent.
Yeah. And
seems like DeVier.
If there's no safety help, if there's no clock on the quarterback, that's almost impossible.
Me and Common Man were going to offer to be the safety help.
Okay. Well,
I could play free. He could play strong.
I'm not sure if that's going to help against
I don't think so.
Not just a professional wide receiver, but anyone who played wide receiver at Ohio State is probably not going to be concerned about that safety help over the top. They're probably okay.
I can hear the Lowe's truck pulling into my driveway now to take back the Blackstone grill that Tyvis gifted me.
That's why I said we don't want to have to say it. We need to come up with the rules, because if it's just one-on-one out there, I like DeVier's chances of winning the matchup.
Oh, they're both great guys.
They're phenomenal guys.
That's the important thing. I mean, it's just a little spicy competition. Hopefully we don't ruin a friendship here.
Want to see it. And if somebody wants to sponsor it, holler at us.
I think what we're going to do is fill up Huntington Park before that Cardale Jones softball game. And Cardale might need to be on the mic while
he's got to be the quarterback.
And Tyvis also said if Cardale's the quarterback, then it's already over.
Oh, well,
then I might even intercept a pass, is what he said. He also said last night on our show that Cardale doesn't have a fully developed brain yet. Says he says things before thinking. Now, when would that have ever happened?
That's always been the case.
Right. I think we know what he was referring to there. But thank you. Thank you for the analysis there. What's Austin's favorite Ohio State play since he's been covering the Buckeyes? I asked him this earlier. Not only will you find out, but we give it a thick and full breakdown as we have some Friday playtime next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Tracy, over to you for weather.
The sun must be shining, Dave, because the 7 for 7 sale is back at Meijer. Mix or match hundreds of items like extra large avocados and mangoes, Kraft macaroni and cheese, and Glass O vitamin water. Pick any 7 for just $7. There's a strong chance of saving with the same quality Meijer deals in-store or online. Back to you, Dave.
Sounds great, Tracy.
Deals so good, you've just got to talk about them. Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
This is attorney Robert Scherver, and I want you to remember one thing. We're the legal army that goes to war for you. Call us now at 877-WAR-FOR-YOU. It's time to know your rights and get the results you deserve. WarForYou.com.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Hey, Mother's Day is around the corner. It's Bobby Carpenter. I want to make my mom feel special. I want to make my wife feel special. And I'm going to do that with the help of, you guessed it, Bob Evans. They help your family feel loved. They take the stress off of mom's plate with the Mother's Day brunch bundle. It's the hot cakes or the French toast, kiss with that fresh strawberry topping, or the Mother's Day breakfast bundle. It's that signature sausage and gravy you all love. Or just get the gift cards and make it easy for mom for dine-in or carry out. Check them out at bobevans.com.
Rosati Windows, the best buying experience in the business.
After the sales process, our installers are the single most important part of the customer experience. Even great windows aren't worth a dime if they're not properly installed. We spend a lot of time testing and choosing our installers. I have to be positive that our customers will receive only the best.
Call Rosati Windows today, 777-4806.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. You know, we do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
Jimmy walks up to the line. His credit card debt is calling a blitz. He signals to upstart.com for an audible. Final play. Bike. Jimmy drops back. In a flash, he cuts over to a streaking upstart.com with a no-cost rate check on a personal loan. He's wide open. An easy toss for Jimmy by finding a great rate in minutes. He applies, he's approved, and touchdown.
Tackle your credit card debt with a personal loan. Check your rate at upstart.com today. That's upstart.com. Loans are made by Upstart Lending Partners. Loan terms will be determined based on credit, income, and other information provided in your application. Not all applicants will be approved. And now we're on our way with COTA, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Whether it's game day or every day, COTA moves Buckeyes fans down the line toward victory. Download the Transit app today for an easy way to plan and pay for your next trip. Visit COTA.com/transit app to learn more.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource. Proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The show that knows how to throw a big, giant Buckeye party. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Happy Friday. Some Friday playtime coming up, which is basically us taking a look at a play, a specific Ohio State play, breaking it down, what's memorable about it, what's cool about it. And this one will be an extremely cool play because it's a Braxton Miller play. And this one was Austin Ward's choice since he's here tonight. And it's good to have him here. The Bodeman is back there. By the way, we are sponsored by our friends at CareSource and by Schottenstein Roofing for top quality and a price match guarantee. Visit SchottensteinRoofing.com. So tell us, when I asked you to just think of a play, it could be any play at all. It could be recent. It could be way, way, way back in the past. It could be defensive even. But you settled on something, Braxton Miller.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like I had to think twice. If you ask me what the most memorable play that I've watched and covered since I got to Ohio State, which was in 2012 when I was hired at ESPN and came up and started covering Urban Meyer and the Buckeyes after he got here, that year was incredible. First year covering the team, they go undefeated. There's all the storylines going on. But Braxton was doing just so many special things athletically that I had never seen another human do. And this play, I remember the feeling of watching it live and not knowing what the heck just happened, and like the dizziness that you get from watching it. I can only imagine what it was like to be on the field as Braxton ran for the most electrifying 1-yard touchdown run that you're ever going to see. I didn't even wait like a decade. 3 years later at ESPN.com, I wrote an oral history about this instant classic play before his final game against Penn State. There was a lot of like people going wild over the X-Brax 360, the spin move against Virginia Tech. And I'm like, that's not the quintessential Braxton Miller play for me. And I asked him about it. I said, what's your best play? And I was hoping he would say it was this run at Penn State. And he said, yeah, that's got to be number one.
That's
It
cool.
was just every part about it, because it was not the way it was designed. And then everything that happened that we'll hear, I guess, when you've got the audio from Paul Keels back in the day.
I'll ask you this, though.
It's what I think of immediately for the best play I've seen.
And I didn't do this yet, but now that I'm thinking about it on the spot, if, say, we polled 500 Buckeye football fans and gave them this or the one you mentioned in the Virginia Tech game, do you think this Penn State one still wins out? If you say, because it's a 1-yard play. If we said more electrifying Braxton Miller play, Penn State 2012, Virginia Tech was at 2015? Started the 2015 season.
I'd love to hear the results. I think if you put them on there with no video, I think the reputation of the spin against Virginia Tech.
Because he's out in the open field and he makes the move, right?
To me, I think that play became overrated. I don't think it was dazzling. He was doing something that very few people can do. I'm not doing anything to diminish it.
I know what you mean.
When you put them side by side, I don't think there's any comparison. It was the degree of difficulty was 100 in the Penn State play, and the Virginia Tech one was like a 5.
because that's how gifted he was.
It's
and when
easy
he
for
had
him.
10 yards to look at his guy,
set him up.
Set him up, Jax, right? He knew exactly what was going to happen. Then, whoop, Chris Berman, spinorama, like I'm off to the races.
Yeah.
I think the reason why it's because he's out in the open, because he gets to flash that speed, and it was because of everything that had just happened. It was the fact that he switched positions and he goes from being a quarterback to the injury to the Buckeyes winning the national championship, and then this guy's staying. To think that even back then you're thinking, oh man, is Braxton going to stay, right? And
First
he
game
becomes
back,
an H-back, basically. And we were so excited to see what that was going to look like.
Yeah, and I get all that. I understand it. And I think that added to some of the mystique. It was the first time, it was like then the possibility of what he could become at that. But as you said, Timmy, he had time to set up a guy, and with his athleticism, he's going to make almost any defender in the world look foolish. This at the Penn State play in the red zone on the 1 is in a phone booth.
Totally.
That's what took it to another level.
Unique.
Yeah.
And to think back where we were in 2012, to get a thick, full look at where the Buckeyes were as a program, weird year. It's a strange feeling type of year where you're excited about having Urban Meyer, who had already won 2 national championships down in the toughest spot for college football in the country, in the SEC. He had done that. He was out of the game, concerned about his health, but he's back in, seems to have the okay and the clearance from his family and everyone that matters. He's a Northern Ohio guy, Cincinnati guy, right? He's here, but you can't play for anything real. So you feel like it's a classic case of we're so excited for where the program can go, but might you miss out on a national championship in year 1? And I think we know the answer is you did.
Yeah, they did.
Sorry, Bodeman, but those Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they showed us that year what could have been done.
Yeah, because Alabama has never killed Ohio State before, Timmy.
That's true.
But Alabama would not have been in that game. It would have been Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Would have been those Bucks and the Irish that year. What was the score? You know the score of that game, don't you?
No, I don't, actually.
You forgot that?
He blocked it out.
I know exactly what it is, but I'm not telling
He's
you.
not saying it.
Harness good, block bad. So the Buckeyes are 8-0. They beat Purdue 29-22 in overtime.
Crazy game
the week
as well.
going into it. Was that Kenny Guyton came in?
They off the bench to save it in 2-point conversion. Yeah, that whole season was really pretty special. I mean, I think that sounds obvious, but because of the things that you described and the outside circumstances and the fact that the captains of that team, the veterans, they all could leave without penalty because of the sanctions, the Zach Borens, the Jack Muhorts, Jake Stoneburners, all those guys that decided to stick around and make something special happen. That added to it, and then you were seeing Braxton come into his own in real time.
So in this game, it's the second quarter, and Penn State has just tacked on a field goal to make this a one-possession game. There's about 3.5 minutes to go before halftime. So this is a pretty big juncture in the game.
Yep.
When you're on the road and Penn State put points on the board, and if anything bad happens, they could possibly take the lead.
It's wide out. It's loud. You know, everything about being at Beaver Stadium is difficult. So a chance like this to make it a 2-possession game going into the locker room was pivotal. And
a big drive, too. A clock chewing drive that obviously, did the job and got to the 1 yard line.
That's right.
And then this is what happened.
Miller has Hyde to the right of him in the backfield. Snap to Miller. Now Miller with a football. He's in trouble at the 5. Runs straight ahead and leaps and lands in the end zone for a touchdown. Braxton Miller, as that play was almost blown up by Penn State. Miller ran into Hyde, circled around he and the defender, and Ohio State's lead now 20-10.
Oh! And you could hear as I play back the beginning of that. We did this. We had a reason to play this like less than a month ago. But listen carefully at the beginning when it appears that Hyde gets blown up, and that's the end of the play.
He does get blown up. That is for sure.
He certainly got blown up, and that's everything that you want with play action, right? With a read option.
Well, it wasn't a read option. I don't think you read my oral history. This was designed for Carlos Hyde, which is what makes it even more.
And Braxton pulled that football
back out. He pulled it on his own.
Yeah.
And then put that situation. It was 100% designed to Carlos Hyde.
It does make it even better. But listen to Skip actually goes nuts in the back of the press booth.
Miller has Hyde to the right of him in the backfield. Snap to Miller. Now Miller with a football.
You hear it. Oh! He thought that it was done. He thought that play was blown up and that was done. So that made it 21-10. The Buckeyes would go on and score another couple of touchdowns. Penn State would get on the board late in the fourth, but this was sort of a runaway game for Ohio State. Middle of the fourth quarter, it was 35-16 after a 6-play, 92-yard drive that finished off with a Buckeye touchdown. So they would win that game 35-23 and improve to 9-0, 5-0 in Big Ten play.
It was awesome. I remember there were just moments for so many different players in that game. I think that Stoney had the long touchdown there, and it was in the third quarter. It took a team effort from these guys who decided to stick around to make it happen. It was a special one. It's never easy. I remember talking to Reed Fragel about this and the memories that they have about showing up there. I mean, you have to remember Penn State also did not have anything technically on the line as they were serving their sanctions. So you had them both going at it, and it still meant so much to them. It was a hard-fought game. The Penn State fans they went to the team hotel. They woke them up at 3 a.m. They were pounding on the team bus when they arrived. They were pounding on the walls of the locker room when they get there. It is not easy to play, and especially for this play in particular that we're talking about with Braxton, it's a busted play, and it's loud, and it's in the red zone, and what he was able to do from there is just raw athleticism, something you cannot teach.
Just Braxton at its finest, his finest. And I'll tweet out that link of Austin's October 16th, 2015 ESPN.com piece. Number one on Braxton's highlight plays, a 1-yard touchdown run for the ages. That's how he put it. And some great stuff. And with captions about Reed and Braxton and Coach Urban Meyer and Michael Thomas and Nick Vanetti. He's got insight and opinions from a lot of the different players that were out on the football field that day. It's very cool stuff. Dudes ranking things on a Friday night. What's better than that? We got the Power 5 coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Since 1897, the Byers Auto family of dealerships has been serving Central Ohio's transportation needs. When we first opened our doors, our vehicles were fueled by oats and hay, required saddles, not seatbelts, and had shoes instead of tires. Over 120 years later, Byers Auto is still family-owned and operated. Our goal is to provide the best selection, price, and service in Central Ohio. And it's all on one website, buyersauto.com.
Come see why it's better to buy from Byers.
Byers Auto is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Marathon has some great news about the number 5, so I'm going to say it 5 times in 5 different ways.
Join Marathon Rewards and earn up to $5 in rewards on your first visit. Join and earn 5 cents in rewards for every gallon you buy.
Join in as little as 5 seconds.
Join to make 5 friends jealous. Join and get high fives.
It's easy to sign up at the station or go to marathonrewards.com. By joining with your phone number, you are agreeing to receive recurring automated informational marketing SMS/MMS messages from Marathon. Consent not required for purchase. Messaging and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. We believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com/Buckeye-Inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Sunday's a time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and DeVier Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And you've heard me talk a lot about how treating low testosterone can improve your sleep, your workouts, your energy levels, and more. But today I want to talk to you about your sex drive, because low testosterone can have a significant impact on your desire for intimacy. It can even be a factor in erectile dysfunction. And if you're in a relationship or wanting to be in a relationship, a low sex drive could really be a problem. The good news is that if you're like most guys, treating your low testosterone could really change the way you feel about sex, giving you back the flame and desire that is so important when you love someone. So if you're feeling sluggish and tired, if you're not sleeping well, if your workouts aren't that great, and most of all, if your sex drive is more like a putt, make an appointment at Tri-State Men's Health and have your testosterone levels checked. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
At the end of every season, a coach evaluates his team. Just like at the end of winter, you should have your roof evaluated. Hi, I'm Bob McElligott for Schottenstein Roofing. Call the expert team at Schottenstein Roofing at 614-321-8888 or go to schottensteinroofing.com to get a free inspection of your roof. And if you need work done on it, don't forget, Schottenstein Roofing has unbeatable value and all of their work is backed for life. That in addition to interest-free financing options. Schottenstein Roofing, a proud partner of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Because there's nothing better to do on a Friday night, let's just rank 5 things. It's the Buckeye Show's Power 5.
All right, so we know it's golf season here. I'm actually getting excited to play Scarlet for the first time in a while.
Ooh.
Haven't played it this year yet. I typically scratch that one once, maybe twice a year. Difficult golf course. But
I think you should play it from the tips.
Who's doing that? Who are these guys that aren't scratch players that want to play the course from the tips? What does that prove?
You and I both know buddies that we play with who want to challenge themselves. And I'm like, they have different sets of tees for a reason. You're not supposed to. This game is hard already. You don't have to make it harder on yourself.
Is it not a challenge just to hit the ball straight?
Exactly.
Whatever tees you're playing, it's still some serious distance. Really? With conditions.
You and I see this the same way.
Yeah, I say if you guys, I feel like I'm part of my reason for being here is to give some general advice for the everyday golfer out there.
Yeah.
Guys that are in that, 8 to 20 handicap range, and they just want to go out there and try to improve and have some fun. My first tip for the year was to just have confidence, just to have a vision, forget about anything with swing thoughts, but think about the player that you were when you ended the year and just be confident. Tell yourself, I can do this. See the ball going down the right side or the left side of the fairway and imagine it so. Think it so. Positive thoughts. It's a mental game. Next tip would be to play a tee that suits you.
Play the correct tee.
Play the correct tee. And, some might say I hit it long enough I could play the blue tees. I'm having more fun just playing the whites, which is like that third tee box up from the tips.
Yeah,
fine with me.
Just because you can hit it far doesn't mean that puts you in position to score well.
And by the way, the Scarlet course has the most badass sign ever made. There is a sign right there attached to the little pro shop that says, home of Jack Nicklaus, the greatest golfer to ever play the game.
It's right to the point.
Right to the point. It's a totally opinion-based sign, but it's fact. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
It is both. If you got 18,
both, yeah.
You got 18 majors to your credit.
Sorry, Tiger.
Can't win that argument.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. In the 19 second place finishes in majors as well.
Pretty
good, which is the other part of that set. So, am I hearing this right? You were going to see my Power 5 and match it.
I didn't know that was what you were going to do, but I thought we were in here and we haven't done it in a while. And today's weather in Columbus, Ohio was absolutely phenomenal.
It's stunning. It's golf weather out there.
So a lot of people
may have played.
Yeah. All I could think about was golf. And I'm like, I bet, because we're going to have to talk about Timmy's trip to Pebble. I don't know. You didn't give me an advance look at your list until right before the show started. But I was already in my mind going to put a twist on it with my 5 favorite Central Ohio golf courses.
And that is great. These, for me, are the 5 best courses that I've gotten to play. And I'm happy with this list now. I could say that if I got sick and died tomorrow, I wouldn't be too depressed.
Well, I hope I would be depressed if that happened.
Well, I appreciate that for you. I hope you'd put together some kind of vignette and something would run on the fan if that were to happen. I asked... I forget who I asked. Was it you, Bodie? If they would rename the studio after me, and that was instantly shot down. Not to that level yet. I maybe could get an edit bay.
There's
named
some smaller,
after me.
Yeah. There's some smaller edit bays out there.
Maybe just your desk. This is where Tim Hall sits.
The desk. There could be a plaque there, on the desk for anyone else, a new employee that goes and sits there. But these are the 5 best courses that I've gotten to play. I start with the Central Ohio course, and it's super private. It is super exclusive. It's just simply the golf club. It's the golf club, not the golf club of New Albany. It's in the New Albany area. It is just the golf club. It is on Kitzmiller Road. That place is so nice. It is so private. Played it with Beamer and one of his buddies who worked there, John Merrill, and that was a treat. Just an absolute treat.
Must be nice.
The governor was on the golf course that day. They had about 25 or 30 players, but just the way that they have some of the bunkers with the wooden planks there, and you're so out there with no homes really around you. So not really cut out or carved out of a neighborhood, just out there, privacy, pristine, beautiful. Number 4 is a Kansas course that I got to play when I was a student out there. And one of our friends in the dorm, his family was a member. And that was pretty cool. It's out in Hutchinson. It's called Prairie Dunes. If you go to their website and take a look around and read about, the course designer and everything, it'll say a slice of Scotland in the heart of America.
Oh, boy.
And it is everything like that. It is the fescue that is raised up. It's rolling hills. It's the winds of Midwestern Kansas. It's just a gem. They've had U.S.
Kansas famously known for their hills.
Yes, right? Yeah, rolling hills, I said. But they've had the U.S. Women's Open. They've had a men's senior open there. It's brilliant. Number three, Muirfield Village Golf Club.
Pretty good.
Another Central Ohio track.
I've not been invited, which is another segment that's been on multiple shows throughout the week.
I'm trending in your way, Austin, because right there with you for this year in 2024.
Every year for me.
every year for you. Hey, if I get a spot next year, I'll give it to you.
I'm not holding my breath.
All right, I'll give it to you if it happens. 2, Spyglass Hill. Here we go to the weekend.
Okay.
When I played Spyglass, I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't believe how great it was. And the sweeping views of the ocean and just playing the first hole, a dogleg left par 5 down the hill. It was awesome. But number 1, obviously, is going to be Thornapple out there in Hilliard in Galloway.
Yeah,
my favorite course of all time.
That's number 1, huh?
The unbelievable 250-yard banger of a par 3 on number 11 on the back 9. That's number 1. If I had to put an asterisk there and say maybe cracking the top 5 would be Pebble Beach.
Huh.
All right, Pebble would be number 1. And I didn't understand
What a mislead.
I didn't understand the hot takes about how Spyglass might be a little bit better than Pebble Beach. You play Spyglass, then you play Pebble. I'm like, okay, I got a new number 1 on the list. It's no question. It's no contest. It's Pebble. There, easy. It's Pebble. Best 1. I'm happy with that list. Again, I could die tomorrow, never play golf again. lived out some dreams there.
Yeah, you're pretty well set. That's a great list. I'm very jealous because I have not played any of those 5. And if anyone at the golf club wants to help rectify that, or Muirfield, which I know that there are people that could help me with that.
We got it.
And
Let's
won't.
do that. Let's do that. Yeah.
Both of those.
Let's do that. Let's get Austin playing some of these tracks. Please,
You know where
for
to
the
find
love
me.
of God.
Because here's what I have, which are the 5 best tracks in Central Ohio for the Central Ohio Two-Man Scramble League, which, again, they're not going to be the most prestigious places that you go play. That's not really what we're aiming to do. So Westchester is number 5.
Love it.
Number 4 is Cumberland Trail.
Love that one, too.
Number 3 is North Star. Can't wait. Next month, I was invited.
I'm here or there on North Star.
Invited out to the member guest.
I'd take the Bent Tree over North Star for the area.
I understand. It's great to know a member and to go out there and play for two-man scrambles, because that is a place where you can stretch it out a little bit and a little more strategy comes into play. The clubhouse is great, which is important for that as well. Darby Creek. Darby Creek is very good, but it is Deer Ridge. You got to drive up a little bit. It's Central Ohio, so it's not just Columbus. Deer Ridge is one of my favorite places to play, but not my most favorite place to play. The spiritual home of the Central Ohio Two-Man Scramble League, the Ridge Golf and Gardens in Marysville.
The Ridge. Way to go, Ridge.
And they just keep getting it better, Timmy. I mean, every time we go back, they've added to the patio. They're putting up, they're putting up new things on the course. They're redoing this. They're redoing that. They're finishing off these bunkers. Like they've done such a phenomenal job building that place up from where the first time I played it 10 years ago till now.
I would throw some love towards Darby Creek for public tracks, Thorny I mentioned, and Denison out there in the Northeast.
Those are all very good.
Is phenomenal. That's great. All right, we got power rankings from CBS Sports for the Big Ten. So where do they have the Buckeyes? We'll keep our finger on the college football pulse. Austin Ward is in. That's next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and when I was looking to get a new roof on my home, I wanted a company with staying power, a company that had been in business for more than 30 years, built on the principles of honesty, integrity, and transparency. Well, there was nowhere else to go than Newman Roofing. 32 years later, and hundreds of five-star reviews from customers that have been blown away with the service that they've received. Some of the customers now, well, they've been around so long, they're getting their second Newman roof, and that speaks to the quality and the way Tim and his team do things. During a time where service is lacking in the service industry, companies like Newman Roofing are leading the way, providing white glove experience to all of their customers, just like they did to me and my family. So when it comes time to get your roof replaced, you're going to want to go with a company you can trust, and that's Newman Roofing. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or go visit them online at newmanroofing.com. That's newmanroofing.com.
And now we're on our way with COTA, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Whether it's game day or every day, COTA moves Buckeyes fans down the line toward victory. Download the Transit app today for an easy way to plan and pay for your next trip. Visit COTA.com/transit app to learn more.
It's no fun to get blindsided. That's why you need to know what's coming in Ohio Medicaid.
Championship quarterback Cardale Jones.
Recent changes in Ohio Medicaid could impact you. If your information isn't up to date, you could lose your health insurance. Call the Ohio Department of Medicaid so you don't have to scramble to stay insured.
Call 800-324-8680. A public health message from CareSource.
That's what I call forward progress.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Jimmy walks up to the line. His credit card debt is calling a blitz. He signals to Upstart.com for an audible. Final play. Pike. Jimmy drops back. In a flash, he cuts over to a streaking Upstart.com with a no-cost rate check on a personal loan. He's wide open. An easy toss for Jimmy by finding a great rate in minutes. He applies, he's approved, and touchdown. Tackle your credit card debt with a personal loan. Check your rate at upstart.com today. That's upstart.com. Loans are made by Upstart Lending Partners. Loan terms will be determined based on credit, income, and other information provided in your application. Not all applicants will be approved.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Buddy Wells. In baseball tonight, the Guardians are in Chicago for the second of their 4-game set against the White Sox. Tonight's game will get started later this hour at 7:40. Carlos Carrasco gets the start for Cleveland. As for the Reds, they'll try and bring their 8-game losing streak to an end tonight as they face the Giants for the first of 3 in San Francisco. That one will get going at 10:15. Andrew Abbott is on the bump for Cincinnati. A couple games in the NBA playoffs tonight. New York is at Indiana. They're just about to tip off right now in Indianapolis. The Knicks lead the series 2-9. And then at 9:30, Denver is at Minnesota. The Timberwolves lead that series 2-9. A couple of games in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight as well. Florida at Boston is just about to get started. That series is even at 1 game apiece. And Edmonton is at Vancouver at 10. The Canucks are ahead there 1-9. And in soccer, the Crew hosts Cincinnati tomorrow night for the first installment of this season's Hell is Real rivalry. Kickoff at the LDC is at 7:45 tomorrow night. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Need heating, cooling, plumbing, or electric? Call a carpenter.
Hour 2 of the Buckeye Show. Timmy Hall and Austin Ward, our Ohio State football analyst here, does fine work for many entities here in town. He's got his podcast.
Fine is the right way to describe
the
it. Just
podcast,
acceptable.
dotting the I. Yes. Just enough. Just doing enough. I know it's been great to see you. Those golf course power rankings have me itching to play. Can't play this weekend, though. Mother's Day weekend. Can't do it.
And rain tomorrow.
Remember that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry actually tried to play on Cheryl's birthday and thought that would fly?
I've actually
play in the morning and that would be okay. What an idiot!
I know that this is a safe space on the radio here with you and in the studio. No one can hear us. We did with the brothers-in-law. So again, that's not just putting, Allie, my wife,
it's family
in jeopardy. That's also my mother-in-law. And some lessons have to be learned painfully. And I will never make that mistake again. No. Definitely not this weekend.
Just don't do it. Just don't even try. Just be a good man.
And the weather was really tempting me. It was doing every bit. Well, you know what? You can't play on Saturday. You can't. It's going to rain all day. But look at how nice it's going to be on Sunday, Austin.
Honey, I mean, don't you love golf? Wouldn't you love to get on out there and be outdoors? And just do a ride along?
I know. And now one of these courses that I've not played that didn't get to be in the top 5, they're going to be hitting me up. I'm not hard to find.
Right, they're going to hit you up on Mother's Day. We've got several Mother's Day spots.
So many tee times are available. Just come on out. And I'll just have to be like,
honey, it's the golf club.
They asked me to come.
I have to.
They said they've never invited me out. I'll never get a chance to go again.
Oh, man.
They were embarrassed not to be in my top 5, but I can't put them in there. I've never played.
Bodie, when are we going to get you swinging the sticks? You've got a good build. I could make a hell of a golfer out of you.
Oh, I don't know about that. I've been golfing a few times.
I'm telling you.
And I'm terrible.
No, but you've got an athletic build. He's like 5'11", 170 pounds.
5'11", 170. He's got no Kuiper it.
Perfect. Yeah. Buddy Wells back there. You got good twist, good torque. Good center of gravity right there. Just get him dressed well. He's going to look good, play good, feel good. He's going to be a hell of a golf. All right, so we've got the power rankings for the Big Ten. What are we looking at here?
If we're going to rank stuff on a Friday night like we do for the Power 5, we might as well just continue the theme here.
So this Power 10 here.
Exactly. Well, Power, how many teams are in the Big Ten? 18.
Power
18.
Yeah, Power 36.
Although we probably could cut it off at 10, when there's last 8 teams. Maybe
it's like isn't Chops doing one of those throughout the Big Ten season? Real Big Ten. I like that. That's good. Good job, Chops.
So this one coming from CBS Sports. We'll start at the top. Not a surprise here. Ohio State is number 1. Oregon 2, Michigan 3, Penn State 4. Southern Cal and Washington come in at 5 and 6. I'll read through the rest real quick and then we can react. Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Rutgers come in at 7, 8, 9, 10. And then Maryland, Michigan State, Illinois, Northwestern, Minnesota, UCLA at 16. Not a great start for the Bruins in year 1 in the Big Ten. And then Purdue, and last, but actually least, Indiana at number 18.
So Michigan third behind Oregon. Buckeyes and Oregon, and a lot of top 25s nationally. You might see something similar. Georgia would be in the mix there, but you might see the Buckeyes 2, you might see the Buckeyes 1, you might see Oregon 3 sneaking in there. And look, Austin, I don't know if you caught this, but when Tyvis was here yesterday, we were talking about several of the post-spring top 25s. And I think this just goes to show you where some former players are in their hearts, right? Because he went so far as to say that he would put Michigan ahead of Ohio State.
This Michigan team?
In a preseason poll, which is, ridiculous on paper, which I think is just...
It's ridiculous anywhere.
It is telling for how some former players feel that they have lost to them 3 straight years now. Because you probably won't find Michigan in a top 10 nationally in a preseason poll with what they've lost.
I think
I'm just relaying you the information.
I understand.
Just telling you what was said.
But if they're letting that cloud their judgment about what this Michigan team looks like that's folly to me.
It's not what it is, though. It's not what it is. It's a spite move. That's what it is. You get it, because yes, on paper, anybody that would look at this team looks going in. And when he actually said it, my initial reaction was, you know what, I can respect that. It's let's see it happen. Clearly, if you're actually doing the work, yeah, you're going to have Ohio State ranked ahead of Michigan, any poll that you put it down at. But that's just where the mindset is at this point in time.
Well, anyone can feel however they like, including whoever did this, CBSSports.com. I think number 3 is far too high for Michigan in the Big Ten alone. You look at their schedule, you look at how many players they lost, you look at the difficulty that they've had putting together a staff for Sharon Moore, who he does have a win in the game, but I think is way out over his skis in terms of being ready to handle this job and that responsibility for the Wolverines.
Right.
This is a daunting proposition without even really getting too far into their schedule. Penn State being below there, USC. I think I got a question on the podcast daily that Bill Landis and Jeremy Birmingham and I had dove into, which was more likely, Ohio State's to win the national championship or Michigan to lose 4 games. And I think, to me, that answer is easy. And I think Ohio State is definitely in a position to win a national title.
To win it.
But Michigan, I think, is absolutely going to lose 4 games. I don't even think twice about it. Like, this is not going to be a good Michigan team. They're going to have a good defense. I have no idea how they're going to score. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. I mean, they
got Archie.
They're just going to let Donovan Edwards touch it 50 times a game. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no J.J. McCarthy, no Blake Corum. Some of the receiver help.
Offensive line wiped away.
Offensive line off to the NFL. Yeah. And so Penn State 4, USC 5. How about the fact that you've got Luke Fickell's Wisconsin Badgers down there at number 9 in CBS's eyes? That's not a good look. I mean, not to say that you're going to put him on the hot seat after year 2, but he certainly was hired as a phenom type of, quick riser, up-and-comer head coach, what he did at Cincinnati, so they would want him more in the mix than that.
I have more faith in him climbing in what used to be the West and surpassing a team like Iowa, which you mentioned was right ahead of them, and Nebraska. That seems to me.
We're in a divisionless
world.
Ship without a rudder now. Just go wherever we want.
Free for all.
But top 2, they tango again, baby.
But comparing them to those, which they're always going to be lumped together in my mind, you can't tell me that Luke Fickell is not going to do a good enough job to be better than Nebraska and Iowa this year. I just don't believe it.
Easy with the Matt Roll. Hey, we love Matt Roll on this show. He's our boy. Him and Herb Brooks are basically our 2 favorot coaches.
We drink the Rule-Aid here on the Buckeye Show. Yes.
Not necessarily.
Well, I'll see you guys later.
We just love the guy, I mean, what do you expect? Him to win games?
It's more of a sarcastic way of loving him, Austin.
Nebraska
just so
didn't hire him to win games.
I mean, what do you expect from me? This is kind of what you get when you bring me in.
You're not going to pay for good players for me either? Cool.
I think a hot take would honestly be that Wisconsin would finish higher than Michigan in this Big Ten season. I mean, if you're going to say what you said, if you're going to say what you said about how you definitely think they're a 4-loss team, then I would certainly put that in play.
Yeah,
the Badgers.
I hadn't really put it in that sort of perspective, but if you're going to go down in the standings and you look at Wisconsin's schedule compared to what Michigan faces, I'm having a very difficult time even paying proper deference to a lot of very good players on Michigan's defense.
I just think it back to Tyvis saying that yesterday and how honestly crazy that is, like for going into 2024. And for folks that are wondering, that saw the social media clip, that wasn't a segment about the way it was written. You know, it was really aimed at where are the Buckeyes as far as being the number one team going into 2024. But as far as the Wolverines, they have to be better than them. And it still just gives me that pit in my stomach about game time in late November and how there's no getting around it. If they've lost that much, you're at home. Yeah. You've got the super team that you've built. It should be a 3-touchdown game. And I hope that it is. I hope that it is when we get there.
I feel like it's trending that way with every single offseason move that is made for Michigan. They've had one of the worst off seasons amongst prestigious powerhouse programs in the country, in my opinion. And if people want to argue with that, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Bode, one more.
Well, moron. Good for Happy Gilmore. Oh, my God.
Next up, we'll kind of continue the theme here. Big 12 power rankings coming from CBS Sports. Just going to read the top 5 here because after that, who really cares, to be honest with you? Utah comes in at number 1. I wish Tyvis were here to hear that. Here to hear that.
Big Utah
because
guy.
He loves
Tyvis.
Utah. Yeah.
Loves those Utes.
Yep.
2 and 3, Kansas State and Kansas. So the state of Kansas is back when it comes to college football.
Yeehaw.
Oklahoma State and then Arizona. I think the thing that stands out to me for this entire list, and especially the top 5, one, it's kind of hard to believe one of these teams is going to be a guaranteed top 4 seed in the college football playoff. And 2, you could probably convince me that basically any one of these teams, maybe outside of the bottom few, could go 8-4 or 9-3. This whole conference, if somehow they could all go 8-4 or 9-3, I would believe it. I know it's probably not statistically possible, but
guys, how proud are you to see a little engine that could, like the Kansas Jayhawks,
are back,
getting top 3 love? Remember when I told you about this 14-year stretch they had in conference play where they were 6-118 or something like that? Think about that. Think about it.
Now they could be
you should be
top
banished.
4 seed in the playoff.
Yeah, they could be they could. It's not going to happen. I wouldn't say it would happen, but they could flirt with being a playoff team. 12 teams, it's a chance.
I think
slim chance.
The over-the-top national love affair with Lance Leopold is too much for me. You had The Athletic put out their top 25 coaches list, and they've got him Bruce Feldman, Stuart Mandel. They both had him in the top 4. I think he was number 3.
Why did I not see this?
And
I wouldn't have gone that high.
He's
higher than Lincoln Riley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Higher than almost everybody in the country. I think
4. We had 4.
He was
almost
either
as high as Ryan
No,
Day.
I think he was number 3. I'll look again.
Wow.
When we get out, they have him. It's gone too far.
At some point,
too much.
Like the Clemson downtrend and the USC downtrend can't just wash away what Dabo and Lincoln have done. They've won a lot of games.
Well,
Lincoln won 2 titles.
Lincoln has paid the price. He is no longer elevated on this lofty perch that these same national lists used to have him, and that Ryan Day did not get the same benefit of the doubt as Lincoln Riley. But you now look at this, and I think it's fascinating. We are in list season in May, early, but you're now down to Dabo does have the rings, and Kirby Smart has the rings, and then nobody else, because Jim Harbaugh is gone, Urban Meyer is gone, and Nick Saban are gone.
That's crazy. I didn't know about that one. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Boatman, good stuff. This will be good for him, too. We got a very Buckeye-centric update to the thing that our producer has been looking forward to for most of his adult life. That's next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through October 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Sometimes you just need a little time for you, or better yet, you and a pizza, like a delicious Donato's cauliflower crust pizza, a golden, crispy crust loaded with your choice of toppings, or get any Donato's signature pizza on cauliflower crust, like chicken spinach mozzarella. Create your perfect cauliflower crust escape today and get $3 off any order of $15 or more using promo code PIZZA. Order now at Donatos.com. Jimmy walks up to the line. His credit card debt is calling a blitz. He signals to Upstart.com for an audible. Final play. Pike. Jimmy drops back. In a flash, he cuts over to a streaking Upstart.com with a no-cost rate check on a personal loan. He's wide open. An easy toss for Jimmy by finding a great rate in minutes. He applies, he's approved, and touchdown.
Tackle your credit card debt with a personal loan. Check your rate at Upstart.com today. That's Upstart.com. Loans are made by Upstart Lending Partners. Loan terms will be determined based on credit, income, and other information provided in your application. Not all applicants will be approved.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
And now we're on our way with COTA, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Whether it's game day or every day, COTA moves Buckeyes fans down the line toward victory. Download the Transit app today for an easy way to plan and pay for your next trip. Visit COTA.com/transit app to learn more.
The Cavs head back to the land for a Game 3 battle with the Celtics.
Live coverage starts Saturday at 8 with the tip at 8:30.
The Fan and ESPN Columbus are your radio destinations for the NBA playoffs. The Fan.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Nationwide picnic with the Pops presents Violent Femmes. Celebrating 41 years of the self-titled debut album and 40 years of hallowed ground. Violent Femmes, performing the self-titled debut and hallowed ground albums, cover to cover. Saturday, June 22nd at Columbus Commons with the Columbus Symphony. Buy tickets at Seabus Arts Ticket Center or picnicwiththepops.com. Violent Femmes.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For the rest of your evening, expect partly cloudy skies and temperatures dropping quite a bit, down to 48 for tonight. We'll see the clouds back on the increase by early morning and a chance for showers early Saturday. High temperatures by Saturday afternoon, 68. After those showers early morning, I think we'll clear out the partly cloudy skies by the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Rob Ellis with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Hating Michigan is our favorite national pastime. This is the Buckeye Show.
Timmy Hall, Austin Ward, all you fine Buckeye fans. If you ever have something you want to say to us, you know we have a Buckeye Show voicemail. And the way that you can get to that is by calling 614-460-2896. We were talking a little bit earlier off the top of the show about Archie Griffin getting his statue out at the Rose Bowl. That's cool. Had me thinking about just the greats that I didn't get to see play in person. And that was the question we posed to you guys. Even if you got to see this particular player play, but you want to watch him play even more if you could go back in time. I can understand there's those guys. I can understand if you were around in the mid-'90s watching Eddie do it all the time and he was your guy, or watching Chris Spielman out there roaming as the linebacker, or Andy Katzenmoyer laying down big hits.
Yep.
I can understand wanting to watch more of that. I said earlier, Jack Tatum. Any guys from yesteryear for you, Austin?
Yeah, I think I was aware, but I wasn't covering Ohio State then, and I was 10 years old when he started his career at Ohio State. But I would love to go in with this 20-year veteran set of eyes of covering college football now and watch the Big O mauling dudes.
That's a great one.
It's hard to get an appreciation maybe in real time for most offensive linemen. Currently, you see guys, and you saw Paris Johnson, like, well, that looks like a generational talent. But you can still get distracted over the course of the game. You're watching the football, you're watching the ball go through the air. You're maybe not paying as close of attention to those guys, but it feels like Orlando Pace was probably different, and not living in Columbus, not seeing every game, it was hard for me to get the appreciation that people around the program and this fan base have always had for the Big O.
Well, it's just, it takes a special talent to see somebody just leap off of the page playing on the offensive line, right? Like, you've either got to be the most savvy, technical football fan that maybe played on the offensive line, so you have a greater appreciation, Chris Collinsworth style, where he'll like to highlight, look at this battle we got going, the left tackle and the defensive end, Big John Runyon and Michael Strahan going at it today. Something like that. Or the guy's just that dominant.
Yeah.
And Orlando Pace, I think when you watch clip after clip after clip after clip of him just ripping guys' heads off and coming up with the Pace pancake, right? Yeah. The pancake man.
And that's...
I'm with you on that. I'd like to watch him.
Big part of his legacy as well. I know I've written about that with other, Heisman Trophy campaigns and Ohio State's part in originating some of that. They don't really do it anymore because they feel like the brand sells itself. But when you're talking about Marvin last year, who had a unique position at wide receiver, or Orlando Pace in the mid-'90s, you do have to do something a little bit extra to bring attention to that. Ohio State quarterbacks, Archie, that's always going to be easy. That the stats, the numbers tell the story there. But when you go beyond that and you're trying to make a case for someone like Orlando Pace and the traction that he received to do it, similar time frame there for Big Daddy and with Dan Wilkinson, like some of those guys in the trenches,
I'm going to
love to have a better appreciation for that and see that up close and personal.
A recent name popped into my head as you were just talking. And I could watch this guy more and more and more and more because you aren't seeing interceptions in football at the rate that you used to.
Yeah.
You're just not. With the way the passing attack is going and how careful quarterbacks are with the football, how accurate they are, their protection, just the overall scheme in general. Malik Hooker was different that year.
That was a fun year.
Malik Hooker was, for you, Austin, it's best I've seen for someone that could read and react and go and get the football in this day and age. Something special. What do you have, 8? And almost all of them were returned for touchdowns.
And taking them back for touchdowns.
It's unbelievable.
That one season was one of the more special that you're ever going to see from a safety.
From any DB.
Yeah.
Corner or safety.
You'd love to think about that and see it again. Not just that we would go back in time and like get to relive that experience of Malik Hooker bursting on the scene and becoming a first-round draft pick and the impact that he was having for that defense, but like
just have him go another year.
Maybe see it for one more year.
Have him go another year and see what would be nice. He wouldn't have that many picks, I'm sure, because that's the way it goes. But what would that look like?
I think that's the cool thing about Malik Hooker in that position. It's like it's not like a shutdown corner where it's like this year, last year, if teams didn't want to throw on Denzel Burke, they didn't. That meant a lot more work for Davis and Igbinosun. Like, we're talking about a safety. You're going to move him around the field, or are you going to not throw deep down the middle of the field for the entire game?
Mm-hmm.
Like, or not face, a cover 2 that you weren't expecting, with Malik Hooker just covering ground and eating it up and flying in to make a play. Like, there's only so much you could do to avoid him because he was so gifted and he had such great instincts. He was making plays even if you were trying to avoid him.
Couple of guys that chimed in. Mark actually gave me Jerry Lucas. That's a great one. He was one of the best basketball players that ever lived, and he was here at Ohio State. And I keep saying it and keep saying it. That's a good reminder. I don't have his cell phone, but I'm sure I could network and get some guys here that could get us Jerry Lucas. Talked to him like 7 or 8 years ago, And he's like the memory wizard, too. Do you know about that?
No.
Like, he is a master in memory. It's one of these things where he's true time, and he can tell you basically anything that's happened in his entire life. Like the recall and master of memorization. So that's like his special trick. But he had tricks on the basketball court as well. And he probably thinks it's crazy that they have not won another national championship since '60, since he was here.
Well, it is a little crazy.
It is crazy. Joan tells us Chick Harley. Great. You mean you're going into the Wayback Machine. And it would be neat just to see how different football was and what a player, a Heisman guy like Chick, what he did. Brian says I could go more, Eddie George. And Nolan had a good one saying Maurice Clarett. Love to have been able to watch him again after the Natty run. 13 was special, yes. But hey, speaking of another running back that could be special, I think he is going to be special this year. I put him down for a 1,000-yard season. Could be more. I think both of our guys are going to go for 1,000 yards this year. Bodie, where are you at getting ready for the release of the big video game? Because something here we got a cover boy to tell you about.
Been ready for, well, it's been 10 years since the last one came out, or 11 even, I think. Technically this summer, I think will be 11. So been ready for 11 years, Timmy.
Well, people are making a big deal out of this. The deluxe edition cover for College Football 25, the EA Sports game. The cover came out. I don't know if you saw a picture of this, Austin, but Donovan Edwards is there. Hate that, right? Quinn Ewers is there.
The last one we had was Denard Robinson. And now all these years later, right front
they go
and
right
center,
back to a Michigan guy.
Back to Michigan.
They did win the Natty.
Happen?
There seems to be a little there seems to be a little Gene Smith asterisk, like right there by the E on Edwards. No, see if I can make that out. But Travis Hunter for Colorado is right there. And right there above Travis Hunter, you can clearly see the back of his head, the helmet, and the jersey. It's Quinshon Judkins. And I don't know why. I think the cover in general was buzzing a lot on social media, rightfully so, because people are excited about this game. But then it turned into, Bama people getting into this. And why is Quinshon Judkins your guy? He just transferred in. He's never played at Ohio State. What are we throwing him there for? That's your problem with it? If anything, it's very 2024 college football because we're living in the transfer portal era, and he's a great back. He's done it for 2 years. He's going to be great here.
Yeah, he has more touches than any other running back in college football. He is a wildly productive, proven commodity in college football. He has earned a spot on there. If his jersey is different, so be it. That's the era of the transfer portal for you. Like, that sums it up.
He's a Buckeye.
Like,
I think the team he plays for.
I think he's played at a high enough level for the last 2 years that he was going to be on there, whether he was wearing an Ole Miss jersey or an Ohio State jersey or anywhere else that he wanted to play. He is an incredibly good football player and great running back who's been one of the faces of college football offensively the last 2 years. Maybe underappreciated from that respect, but when you look at the numbers, the resume can't be argued with.
Are you going to take control of Riley Leonard, Bodie, and make sure he has like 47 touchdown passes and
yeah, a lot of people like to tell me,
800 rushing yards.
I've told a few people around the station I think this is going to be Notre Dame's year. And people always say, that's not going to happen. Well, I'll tell you this, it's going to be their year on the video game.
Austin.
Oh, okay. They're definitely winning a national championship or two on that video game. I can guarantee you that.
My team. My kind of team, Bodie. My kind of team. All right, busy segment coming in. Adam King of 10 TV. He'll join us for some Buckeye Bits. That's next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Are Men and Bone stupid in real life? Yes. Yes, they are. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Right now during Ram season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab, 4x4 for $479 a month for 42 months, with $4,279 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Hey, it's Bobby. When you have a large investment like a new roof, you want to work with a company you can trust. One with 30 years of experience and hundreds of 5-star Google reviews, 0 complaints with the BBB. That's Newman Roofing. So go check them out at newmanroofing.com or give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check.
Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our Central Ohio financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Rothman and Ice.
After he was picked, and they all get excited, this poor dog, the head's going back and forth, the tail's wagging. Somebody pay attention to me.
Give me some love.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Hey, Mother's Day is around the corner, and it's Bobby Carpenter. I want to make my mom feel special. I want to make my wife feel special, and I'm going to do that with the help of, you guessed it, Bob Evans. They help your family feel loved. They take the stress off of mom's plate with the Mother's Day brunch bundle. It's the hot cakes or the French toast, kiss with that fresh strawberry topping, or the Mother's Day breakfast bundle. It's that signature sauces and gravy you all love, or just get the gift cards and make it easy for mom for dine-in or carry-out. Check them out at bobevans.com.
When you have to stop but don't really want to, stop at BP. Because BP has everything you need to keep it going. Fuel to keep the adventures going. The BP Me app to keep the savings and the commutes going. Snacks and drinks to keep the crew going. And the BP Me Rewards Visa to keep the rewards going and going and going. A stop at BP isn't a stop at all. Keep it going.
Hello, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletic Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donatos, Huntington, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, and 10TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in the great state of Ohio through our Buckeyes Care initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag Buckeyes Care.
Marathon has some great news about the number 5, so I'm going to say it 5 times in 5 different ways.
Join Marathon Rewards and earn up to $5 in rewards on your first visit.
Join and earn 5 cents in rewards for every gallon you buy.
Join in as little as 5 seconds.
Join to make 5 friends jealous. Join and get high fives.
It's easy to sign up at the station or go to marathonrewards.com. By joining with your phone number, you are agreeing to receive recurring automated informational marketing SMS/MMS messages from Marathon. Consent not required for purchase. Messaging and data rates may apply.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource. Proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Scarlet and Gray 24/7, or however long the show is tonight. You're listening to the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Yes, you are. I'm Timmy Hall. Thank you guys so much for being here. I got to tell you about my friends at Tri-State Men's Health because it's Friday night. And the next time we have a Friday night, I want you ready. I want you ready and prepared for the weekend, ready to stand on business. Yes. And do you remember that first time that you failed to perform in the bedroom? You may have just laughed it off. No big deal, right? It'll be fine. It's not fine. You cannot let erectile dysfunction go untreated. You need erectile function. If it happens a second or a third time, you got to call my guys at Tri-State Men's Health. No stigma. Get it checked out. Go to one of their lovely Central Ohio facilities, Westerville, right there in Hilliard, 270 and Cemetery Road. Call them at 800-900-9654 or just go to the website, tristatemenshealth.com. They've got treatments with success rates that are well over 90%. They can even have you last an hour or more. That's half the Buckeye Show. Just imagine 2 of your favorite things at the same time. Man, life is good. So check out their expert staff. The initial visit is just $99. They'll get you the test dose in the office. If it doesn't work there, the visit is free. TriStateMen'sHealth.com. Tell them Timmy Hall sent you. Austin Ward is here.
I am.
Adam King of 10 TV.
I'm also
has
here.
Sauntered into the studio.
My man.
I have
Problems
made my way.
you guys don't, you guys look fine.
Oh, thank you.
Like you're good.
I appreciate that. What is it, 2 and 3?
How can you tell?
Yeah, you know what? If I'm okay, then that
I don't know.
must
You
mean
seem to know exactly where it was located.
You might need to go see him.
I think they got their money's worth on that ad read. That was.
They're very good. They're very good. So we look at some Buckeye bits in this segment, Adam, and we take a look at some of the things that happened this week and try to get everybody up to speed on all the Buckeye news, little tidbits they need going into the weekend. One of the things here that we can get started off on was Greg Fry, former Ohio State quarterback, was on the show this Monday with Ryan Baker and Tyvis Powell. And this part was pretty interesting to me, where they asked him about Will Howard and just what he thought about him. And he'll give his take on if he thinks he's the guy in here. This is former Ohio State quarterback who has a pretty keen eye for these things, Greg Fry.
I was lucky to get to meet him a little bit after the spring game. Just had Jackson and I had a nice little conversation with him. And I asked him a couple questions, and I was really blown away because I asked about how he's being coached. And he said, he goes, I asked Ryan and Chip to coach me hard, and they are. And he says, frankly, I didn't really get coached that much in detail at Kansas State. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, he goes, there wasn't a lot of detail to the coaching as far as reads and progressions, and it just blew me away.
Isn't that crazy?
It's wild.
I mean,
No.
he's not playing for Coach Leipold at Kansas.
State.
He's playing at Kansas State. So a little different caliber there. But no, I think this goes to show you what a big pro-style program like Ohio State, how they're going to do things.
Well, I think it also says a lot about why Ryan Day and this team went out and got him. Because if you know he's not being coached, if you know that, hey, this is raw talent that's out there doing this, imagine what he can do if we give him a whole offseason, a whole spring, everything to go, get ready at Ohio State. One, he's being coached by a former quarterback. That is forever helpful. And I understand Chip Kelly's helping him, but at the root of this, at the root of every Ohio State quarterback, we all know it's Ryan Day behind it. And so I think that's probably, there were a lot of questions as to why was Will Howard Ohio State's guy on the long list of people. I think Ryan Day probably saw that and said, okay, this is a raw talent. Let's put some structure in place, because you're right, it's Kansas State. I think we probably know that he's not getting coached up to the same level, but to say I wasn't really coached.
Well, in Austin, why would a guy like Will Howard not want the full throttle Ohio State experience? Of course, coach me hard.
Yeah, well,
everything you got.
The whole point of making that decision not to go to the NFL draft, where he had an opportunity to be selected, it was going to be, 4th or 5th round. His conversation, his deliberations when Lincoln Riley, Ryan Day, or taking your shot in the middle rounds of the NFL draft, knowing that you might not have been maximized while you were in Manhattan, Kansas. He chose to go to the place where the most opportunity to run a system that has developed quarterbacks, to educate quarterbacks, to get stronger, to get in every way. Mickey Marotti, Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, all these things. And now was Bill O'Brien at some point in there thrown in. But all that opportunity for him to get better and maximize his NFL draft stock requires an aggressive coaching approach.
Why did you laugh at Bill O'Brien? Those were the best 2 days of Will Howard's learning career.
It just seemed like
it's like the Quinn Ewers era.
It was a nice, it was like going on a 3-day, crash course. And, you get sent away to a convention and you're just sitting in there. I'm sure that he really appreciated it. A lot of people
sending you away to places there, Austin?
Yeah, absolutely.
You get a crash course in podcasting?
I need it.
Oh, yes. No, yeah.
This was, then Greg Fry had this to say to finish up.
But what I gathered from that is this is a kid that's got a lot of experience, and clearly, he was second team all Big 12 last year, so he's got game experience, which is a significant leg up on anybody else. He wants to be coached. He's a bright young man. So, I think they got a guy that's got a tremendous upside and knows how to win. So, look, I'd be shocked if he's not the guy. I just really would be, because with that, just knowing that those things.
All right, so you hear what Greg says. I think a lot of us do still think that with Will Howard transferring in from Kansas State, having that veteran experience, that he could win the job. Austin, are you still, percentage-wise, what's the chance for Devin Brown to get this thing done?
I think Devin Brown remains a viable option and a competitive option, but I believe Ohio State closed spring camp strongly leaning towards Will Howard. I believe every quarterback in that room is aware of the situation and the current leader, and I believe that leader, this is not my opinion, I believe that it's Will Howard.
You kind of been there, Adam?
That is the most well-spoken, accurate thing I have heard on the Ohio State quarterback battle in a long time. We continue to say it's a battle, which I understand. And let's be clear, Devin Brown, if you're listening, I think you are a very viable quarterback. I think you could start at every school in the country.
He stuck around.
He stuck around. They all stuck around.
He doesn't have any ships left.
This is Will Howard's job. It's been Will Howard's job since they went out, wrangled the money, and Ryan said, that's my guy.
You got a fifth-year transfer quarterback, and you paid.
It's his job. And what you said, I thought is perfect because yes, it is a competition because Devin Brown is good enough to start at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And it is remarkable that all those guys stayed. That speaks a testament to Ryan Day at Ohio State. But you're right. At the end of spring, everybody walked out of there and they knew. It's just like everybody walks out and knows that Jeremiah Smith is going to be a starter. We can play this game all, throughout the fall camp. And, yeah, he's a freshman. We know he's going to start. Yeah. So let's move on and let's drop the shade.
Did you guys see this little update for you on the disastrous commencement speech? Chris Pan was the guy who was selected to do the commencement at Ohio State. Social media entrepreneur, right? But it was a
crypto salesman.
He bombed. It wasn't just the crypto talk. It was the sing-alongs.
Well, yeah, I like the song.
Oh, my God. It was just awkward, and he was getting booed up there. Well, the Dispatch found out who actually was at the top of the prospective speakers list.
It was Austin Ward.
And Chris, yeah, it could have been Austin Ward. It would have done a better job.
I would have done a lot fewer drugs.
Yeah. Plus, the guy says that he was on drugs when he wrote the speech, and somehow he's not admitting that it was bad. That's the other thing, too. Like, he's standing by what he did.
You can blame the ayahuasca for that.
Exactly.
It wasn't his fault.
Dude's on a hallucinogen.
The ayahuasca is when he said, we need to add a song and dance to this bit because that's going to take it over the top here.
Listen to this.
You know what, drugs?
Listen, though.
You're absolutely right, drugs.
This is who they could have gotten. Michelle Obama, Lizzo, LeBron, Michael Phelps, Trevor Noah. All names that were atop the prospective speakers for the spring commencement.
You just named five people that aren't going to convince me to buy Bitcoin and aren't going to sing and dance. What are we doing out here, Timmy?
Well, LeBron, I think, owns a little crypto. He could have pitched it.
Timmy,
Lizzo, the name of the arena.
Lizzo would have been singing and dancing.
That's true.
So we should have had a combo.
Yeah, that's a good
Lizzo
point.
and LeBron.
Who did your guys' commencement speeches? Adam, I know you didn't graduate, but Austin.
Well, you know what's interesting is I just kept showing up, hoping someone would give me a diploma. I kept getting in line. I don't know that I remember even listening to my commencement speaker.
I'm pretty sure that it was a state senator or the senator for the state of Wyoming.
Okay. It wasn't Conan O'Brien or anybody like
Travis
that.
Kelce didn't give my commencement speech. I do remember.
Buddy, I went to Wyoming and I was so hungover. I don't remember a thing.
The guy next to be at my commencement had a competition with the guy to his left who could shotgun more beers in the middle of commencement. And that was the only thing I watched the entire graduation.
We had our chancellor, and he did a great job. I remember that. We codenamed him Chancellor Bob. His name was Bob Hemingway at University of Kansas, and he did a great job.
Chancellor
great speech.
Bob
It was nothing like this nitwit. That was crazy.
Spoken like a man who didn't take his advice on the Bitcoin.
All right, stay there, Adam. Adam King from 10 TV's in the studio. We got the best with the Bucks on the social fronts. Includes Adam showing some editing skills. It's next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's ping pong game. The Fan.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Extreme Limo is proud to be Central Ohio's first choice for luxury transportation. Serving our community since 2006, Extreme Limo has a full range of luxury cars, limos, and party buses for every occasion. And now offering you the new officially licensed Ohio State bus. You can travel in scarlet and gray style to your next game, wedding, or special event. Celebrate life and stretch the limit. Call Extreme Limo at 614-483-3300 to book today or visit extremelimo.com. That's XTREME limo.com.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents Violent Femmes. Celebrating 41 years of the self-titled debut album and 40 years of hallowed ground. Violent Femmes, performing the self-titled debut and hallowed ground albums, cover to cover. Saturday, June 22nd at Columbus Commons with the Columbus Symphony. Buy tickets at CBUS Arts Ticket Center or picnicwiththepops.com. Violent Femmes.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Right now during Jeep 4x4 season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for $379 a month for 42 months with $3,837 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial Services. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024. Jeep is a registered trademark.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com today to get started.
Timmy Austin Ward with you guys tonight on the Buckeye Show. Adam King of 10 TV hanging out, the Bodeman back there. Thank you guys so much for listening and following along the entire week. We certainly do appreciate it. We're getting here to a nice, lovely weekend, Mother's Day weekend. Take care of the moms. You got to do it, right?
You got to do
Thing
it.
one. Thing one for this week, this weekend.
Mission critical.
Yep. Lucky enough to have my
Sunday
mom in
morning,
town.
You
That's
get the
great.
card, you get the gift.
Sunday. Hey, as long as you get it all done before you go and see them.
That's right. Don't tell
Sunday, anybody that.
Sunday is my grandmother's birthday as well.
Oh, she's double dipping.
Yes, which is perfect.
Selfish.
I mean, she's getting one gift and one card. And it is phenomenal.
But you're going to write multiple messages on that card.
Multiple messages. I'm going to say Happy Mother's Day and birthday and love Adam. That's the message she's
Are you
getting.
getting a generic card? Is it going to be blank?
I mean, there'll be a flower on the front.
I mean, she's not your mother.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a grandparents' day.
Yeah, she doesn't get 3 days. I'll tell you that much.
She's not mooching off of you for that.
Why are the cards now like $6?
It's insane.
What happened?
I went to Whole Foods and bought a card one time.
What did you pay, 12?
Well, it's across the street, so I was like, I gotta get a card. It was $14.
Shut up.
Everything's organic there, King. I mean,
it like had like a pop-up thing on the front of it.
You can't get the pop-ups. You're
I
dead.
was like, what? Yeah. I walked up to the counter. I'm like, I'll take this card.
Did it play a tune? It better play a tune
it didn't play
over $10.
No. And the thing was, I don't know where it is now. I wanted it to be displayed for the rest of its life because it deserved that.
I think that's at least 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Put it out every holiday.
It's like buying a CD.
Yeah. When's your birthday? Why is that still on the counter? Well, my birthday was in December, but he paid $14 for it. So here we sit in October.
It's from Whole Foods. It's organic cotton.
Little tip from the pros: the dollar store does have greeting cards.
Yes.
Oh no.
They don't have anything written on the inside.
Right.
It's just a folded piece of white paper.
It's all
make your own Mother's Day card.
The nice thing for Timmy is he can stop in there and get the card and the gift at the same time.
There you go.
Stops into the Dollar Tree and covers it all.
They were all written by Mr. Deeds. So that's the thing. You got to be good with that. But Adam, you put this tweet out there. Buckeye fans, the minute they get their hands on NCAA Football 25, you took the graphic, so copyright infringement.
Oh,
and
does it say it was edited a few times? Because usually there's some.
It's the cover, and he went over. Right, that's good. He went over Michigan's Donovan Edwards and just threw Jeremiah Smith on the graphic.
You did that by accident?
So good
placement?
job.
Mm-hmm. It was accidental. I didn't even realize Donovan Edwards was on there. No, I just think it's, I feel bad for Buckeye fans. You had to wait 10 years. The last time you had to see Denard Shoelace Robinson on there. Now you got to look at Donovan Edwards. Goodness gracious. It seems a little unfair. So get yourself a Travis Hunter one or Jeremiah Smith. Make your own. It's a DIY crafts for you.
Well, a little more on a Buckeye being on the cover because
a little moron.
Did you just call me a moron?
Well, yeah, obviously.
A little more. Not only a moron, just I'm a little moron.
I heard it.
Yeah. Do you want to be a big one?
I don't know.
I think you are, right?
I think I'd rather be a big moron than a little moron, but I don't think I want to be a moron at all.
All right, you nerd. Just pipe down.
All right.
So Quinshon Judkins had his left shoulder on the cover?
Half his helmet.
That's about what it was. Andrew Lynn was tweeting. He said, Quinshon becomes the first Ohio State athlete to grace the cover of a college sports video game since Greg Oden was on College Hoops 2K8.
Yeah.
And the first football player since Eddie was on a game called NCAA Game Breaker in 1996.
We all remember that.
Boy, that was a bad game.
Eddie was also on the cover of Madden in 01.
In his Titans uniform?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I can see that in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did the Oilers break off of that and just go Titans? Because they were the Tennessee Oilers for a couple of years.
It might be the Oilers now that I'm thinking about it in my head.
And then as Tom Hanks in Castaway told us, we have an NFL team now, but they play in Nashville. Well, they started in Memphis, and then they moved to Nashville. That's what Helen Hunt told us.
What did you think of my editing skills?
Oh. Ooh. He's about to name call you again.
I take my Twitter more seriously than anything else in the world. Austin Ward knows this.
You did cover him up completely, and he's kind of got like some lighting behind him.
Listen, Timmy.
Did you steal Berm's photo for that?
Listen.
No, that's my photo. But have you seen how many people have just stole Berm's photo?
Literally millions.
It's insane.
He's keeping track.
It's wild. I've never seen.
He's making one of those wedding singer lists of people to kill.
It's like that photo that I can't remember who had it. It must have been 11 Warriors where Marv's got 1 foot out of bounds and he's sideways. That photo, everyone was like, no copyright rules, whatever you want.
Free for all.
It's wild. Yeah.
Well, photos are just, they're out in the ether. They're just gone.
You
right?
ever post a video on Twitter and it does okay, and then some other big thing just copies
Have you ever done that?
Have I ever done what?
Posted a video and just go viral?
I would never do that. I don't try to go viral. I don't know what you're talking about.
You just said it was the most important thing in your life.
I just take it very seriously.
Successfully zeeting.
I take it very seriously. That's all I say. That's why
I like to see every revision that's made on there.
All is fair.
No.
All is fair, right?
The best part.
What typo did King have on this one? Let me find it.
The best part is there was one time that I had to edit a tweet, Timmy. I kid you not, 9 times. There were 9 revisions on one tweet, and I never go over the 140 characters, so that should tell you.
I just can't believe you took my Jeremiah Smith graphic and passed it off as your own. I can't believe you actually did that.
It's my own picture of Jeremiah Smith, all rights reserved, although EA, I think I stole your cover. So
yeah, I'd say so.
They don't care. They're getting free publicity out of it.
That's true, and also they got leaked today. So.
Well, we have made it to the week. Adam, it's over. It's done.
It's done.
It's done. It's done.
He just got here. He should have been here for the whole show.
Thank you.
I don't know about that,
I will take
Austin.
that to the weekend with me.
Timmy's already worried. He's like, this is out of control. I didn't know that this is what King and Ward were like together.
Please don't give him ideas. So, guys, thank you so much. We got a big Tee to Green tomorrow at 9 with Skip Mossick. I will be one of his guests. Ooh. And we've got Knicks Pacers Game 3 coming up next. Everybody have a great weekend. Check out the podcast anywhere you get your audio. Just search up The Buckeye Show. Mother's Day Sunday. Take care of the moms. Basketball next on The Fam.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia, often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. I've been talking about High Bank whiskey for a while now, and I'm not alone. Last year, the Whiskey War line from High Bank Distillery Co. won Best Blended Whiskey in America for the 3rd year in a row at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. That's the largest, most prestigious spirits competition in the world, and we've got it right here in Columbus, Ohio. So the next time you're looking for a pour of the good stuff, stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or stop in at their 2 restaurant locations in Gahanna and Grandview. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Marathon has some great news about the number 5, so I'm going to say it 5 times in 5 different ways.
Join Marathon Rewards and earn up to $5 in rewards on your first visit. Join and earn 5 cents in rewards for every gallon you buy.
Join in as little as 5 seconds.
Join to make 5 friends jealous. Join and get high fives.
It's easy to sign up at the station or go to marathonrewards.com. By joining with your phone number, you are agreeing to receive recurring automated informational marketing SMS/MMS messages from Marathon. Consent not required for purchase. Messaging and data rates may apply.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is a part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is safe and clean for the players every game at the Schottenstein Center. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com. Libman, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Did the pandemic eliminate quality customer service? Well, many places it did, but not here at Heartland Bank. Imagine getting top quality service and good advice as well to help you down life's road. It's community banking, and it's alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb, CEO. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.